Okay. Good morning, everybody. This is we're working on a wonderful. This is mainly for a private video for family, which we lost a family member. But I do. Art is so important that I will allow, with the permission of some of the family, to uh, we will say we take a little bit of red. Um, we have dark red, but we really want some of this lighter red to flesh out the colors. And if the camera lady, who is Mercady, who is my lady love and my camera lady, to get a picture of the painting close and also my palette. You need to come in here, honey. Follow my brush a little bit. Thank you so much. Let's say good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
Thank you. And okay, so we take a little white. We want just the right color to flesh things out. So we're going to flesh things out. Mercedes, can you say flesh things out?
Flesh it out.
Mercedes, come on, wake up, honey. Flesh things out.
Flesh it out.
Flesh things out.
Flesh it out.
¿Cómo se dice yo hablo poquito? I'm so sorry. Mercedes speaks way better English than I speak Spanish. ¿Cómo se dice flesh? Okay, so what we're doing is we're building up the illusion. Can you say building up the illusion, Mercury? Building up the illusion. ¿Cómo se dice ilusione en español?
Ilusión.
That's right. So I am in Mercedes' beautiful apartment and have been honored by her family by having been asked to do a portrait of a beloved family member. And that's all I want to say about that. That's their business. But what is my business is my wonderful lady friend. She's a wonderful photographer, and she is helping me to help the audience to learn about just learning how to use a brush, because ultimately what we're doing is portraits from photographs. But really the reason I do that, for the reason I need it, you need it, everybody needs family members to be honored, possibly with somebody in the family who knows how to do portraiture. So, and what does it take to know how to do portraiture? Nothing. It's just academic. It's going down here to the corner. It's blending and fading. We're dealing with acrylics. And the reason I'm dealing with acrylics is why, Mercedes? Because acrylic, you can always go over acrylic with oil. And we're going to deal with working in oil in Mercedes' space, but not yet. We haven't dealt with that yet. Because then we're dealing with the storage of volatile substances such as turpentine, paint thinner, stuff like that. And that's a real fire hazard. You have to be careful. I don't even want to get the audience started in something like that and then feel like, well, somebody had a fire and it's my fault. Are you kidding me? So we're going to stay in acrylic. The good news is that Chuck Close, one of the greatest artists of all times, did everything in a water-based paint. I mean, it was incredibly academic, technical, beautiful. He's one of the greatest, most recognized artists. Rest in peace. He passed away within the last 10 years or so. But he did not work in oil. I don't know why, but I always took that as a wonderful inspiration that he didn't work in oil, because what I felt like what that meant to me and all of my viewing audience is that oil, unless you have a special studio space where, it just, I don't want you, I already explained. And as I'm talking, we see that we are doing a portrait from a photograph of our loved one. I will send this to Mercedes' family, who has requested this portrait, and I will not necessarily upload this video on a regular public viewing, except as I talk only about the academic aspect of painting a portrait, which has to do with giving him a strong chin. And I owe that knowledge, everything you do, you may owe that knowledge of what you're doing to someone specific. I remember someone in Carolina that started following my work at a studio and got me a show at a studio at a small but interesting space on Trade Street in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, who told me about the importance of getting a strong chin. I mean, just little things like that, which means that really no one owns the integrity of the portrait in a way. So, having said that, we're going to go ahead and sign off. I'd like to do this all day, but then I don't have all day to upload, cut, and edit, and this rudimentary technology has nothing on art by hand. True skill by hand, no artificial AI, artificial, what do you call that? Artificial AI, what does the I stand for? Como se dice? Who cares? Because
No
ultimately,
importa. Who cares? No importa.
it's not important. Thank you, Mercury. Because what is important is for my viewing audience to learn how to paint skillfully by hand, anything. And once you learn how to do stuff like this, you can go ahead and do, I just feel like putting colors and splashing them. But you have to do something technical or no one's going to buy your work. I know everybody's going to go, oh, and then there's going to be a big argument. But three of my favorite artists, let's go 4. Andy Warhol, Kehinde Wiley, Jean-Michel Basquiat, and Norman Rockwell. That's like 4 corners of the spectrum. You have Andy Warhol up here, totally conceptual. You have Jean-Michel Basquiat up here, totally expressionist. You have Norman Rockwell down here on the bottom right, on bottom left, totally technical, accused of only being an illustrator. You have Kehinde Wiley, totally technical. He's exalted for his work. Norman Rockwell was exalted in the same way as Kehinde Wiley is now. 100 years ago for his work. The point is, let's all get together, use art for what it is, not try to blow it up out of proportion. It's a wonderful supplement to other things. I've been an educator. I believe in art as a supplement to architecture, engineering, computer software design, everything. But for me, let's just learn how to paint by hand. And let's start with portraits from photographs of loved ones. So the worst anyone can do is come up and say, oh, you're painting from a photograph. That's not really art. You could say, well, no, it's not. It's a skill that I'm accumulating within my heart, mind, body, and soul to be able to do so that I can honor a loved one in a memorial. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. Have a good rest of the Sunday. Thank you. You want to say